All right, we are doing an early morning one today. It looks like we're up and running. And let me get the Amazon one going. So this is an experiment. The experiment today is that this stream is going to appear on the Amazon deals page this morning. So that's why we're doing this early. And this is not fraught without its risks, or this is fraught with risk because my children are upstairs by themselves because my wife is doing an early morning grocery shopping trip. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. And what the deal is this morning is the deals. So Amazon's trying out a new thing. And we're going to start in about 10 minutes or so, because we got to wait for my slot to open up. So they're trying out a new thing today, where, and I'll say good morning to John here. They're trying out a new thing today, or this week, or this month maybe, where they put you on the deals page. So if you go to the today's deals page on Amazon, in about 10 minutes, I'm going to be featured there. And supposedly everything that I have ordered and bought with my own funds in this box here are on deal today, which means they're on sale today. And hopefully they're all still on sale, because I don't know how this is going to work, because this is the first time I've done this. So in about 12, 13 minutes, we're going to open this box, and I bought like $100 worth of stuff. And all this stuff apparently is on sale, and it's all in here, and it's all tech related. So we'll see how this works. Give it a shot. And I want to say hello to some other folks. So this is definitely a lot earlier than we usually stream. So usually it's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Today it is not even 9 o'clock yet. But it's a weekend, and I thought I would give this a shot, see what happens. Let me know how the stream is working for everybody, too. If you're in the Amazon chat, say hi. We're going to get started in about 12 or 13 minutes or so. Prime is here. Zombies Bite Again is here. I hate to be bit more than once by a zombie, but I'm glad you're friendly. Nilak is here, and B. Tababa is here as well. Good to see some of the regulars popping in at an irregular time for my stream. Yeah, like I said, there's a bunch of stuff in this box. There's nothing like groundbreaking here. I tried to keep my, let me see what I paid for all of it. So I got the deal prices a couple days early to do the stream. So in this box is like $100 worth of stuff. And then some of the stuff that's on deal I already had. So that's how this worked out, including one thing. This was kind of funny. So we just got the Amazon delivery service here in my area. So they started up in my town like about, I don't know, 6 months ago. And then my mother's town, she's a couple towns over, it just started for her like maybe 2 months ago, 3 months ago. So when they first got started, they were having some this issues getting things off the ground and operating. So what's funny is that she got something delivered to her that's actually relevant to the channel. That'll be on the list of things that we'll pretend to take out of this box. It turns out she was on that. She got something that she didn't order. They sent it to her by accident. So it worked out great because it's like something I could make use of. So that's really fun. So I'm just looking on the deals page here to see when I pop up. So if you go to this is US Amazon. If you go to the Amazon deals page at 9 o'clock, we're going to show up there. 9 o'clock Eastern time. So let me say hello to some other folks. Mario is here. Hello. Sheepy is here. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon where he is. It's 2 o'clock somewhere. Larry is here. Good morning to you. Adam was watching my Plex video. Yeah, it's a nice, relaxing Sunday morning here in the U.S. I usually watch my YouTube videos on Sunday morning. Now I'm making making one, sort of, like in a live stream one. David Langley is here. Rob says it's a great time for the U.K. Perfect. Yeah, it's great if it works out. So yeah, we just got to chill out for like another 10 minutes or so, and then we can take the stuff out of the box, because that's when the deals page will go live. I'll show you where it's going to show up. So where I'm going to be is, let me show you my screen here. So I am going to be showing up on this screen right here. So this stream will be up here in about 10 minutes. And then I'm hoping that everything that I ordered is still on the deal list. So these are all the deals of the day. And I think most of what's in this box, everything that I ordered in this box here, should be on the deals list. So hopefully it's all still there. And now I'm seeing things that I didn't see on Sunday when I was last week when I was ordering everything. So we'll have to see what's been added. But they do this every day. So every day they consolidate all the deals into this spot here. And it's not as easy to search as Prime Day is, because on Prime Day you can go up here and do a search and get get the breakdown of everything that you can buy that's a Prime Day deal. Here, look at this, there's a Chromebook on sale. I probably reviewed this one already. So here, all this stuff is on deal today. So this is everything that you can get at a lower price versus what it usually is priced at. And I'm just looking to see, we'll see what happens when we go through this. Because I'm supposed to show you only the deals, but these were the deals that I knew them as. Here's the Roku Stream Bar. We reviewed that recently. It's actually pretty loud, the Stream Bar. I got to get their other one in, their sound bar. So these are all the deals. And we'll look at the deals that I picked in a few minutes, so stay tuned. We got to wait till 9 o'clock Eastern time, whichever time that is where you are. I don't know. Namit is here. Hello. Let me put some more hellos up here. Sonic the Hedgehog is joining us in the Amazon chat. Thank you for joining us, Sonic. I'm a big fan. Greg Blankman is here. Good morning. Rob says it's 2 o'clock in the UK. Perfect time. And it's 9 p.m. in Malaysia. I went to Malaysia once, many years ago. Namit is here. Are there any laptops in the deals? There was. I just saw a Chromebook in the deals. Yeah, you got to check every day. And what you can do when you go onto the deals page is, so you land here on today's deals. Let me refresh real quick and just get, so you land here in today's deals, and then like what you can do is we could click on computers and accessories, and then we can see if there's anything here. And I think you could sort, yeah, you can sort by, so what I would do is like sort by the price, high to low. You can also sort by the discount to see who's giving you the best deal. But if you go high to low, you'll see all the expensive stuff first, and then more than likely, the laptop will be there. So let's see, here's a laptop, a TechLast. Yeah, so I've reviewed these before, not the best. What is this one spec'd out as? Let's take a look. So this one, what's it got for a processor? So they're knocking $60 off. You get another 25 if you do the coupon. But what's it got? What's the specifications of this thing? So this is a Gemini Lake. Yeah, probably. I mean, if you get it at that price, it's probably okay. It's got 8 gigs of RAM. So, it's decked out on the RAM. You got the SSD slot. So it's probably not bad. The problem that you run into with like TechLast is that it's not, it's not like a name brand. So if you have problems, it's hard to get support. There's a bunch of these in here. There's another one. This is, I think I reviewed this one. This is the B-Link i3. It's an older i3, but, here's another one of those ones there. Let's see. What are we doing on time? We got 5 minutes. Overlord is joining us from the UK on the Amazon chat. Yeah, see, it's all, most of these are like no name. Here you can get a Call of Duty branded SSD. Here's that Chromebook I was mentioning earlier. This one's probably actually not a bad price. This is like your kind of school issued Chromebook. I wonder if I reviewed this one. If not, I should probably get it. Maybe I'll buy one just to review it. I just got to check because I look at so many laptops, I forget what I review from one day to the next. The 11A. And I can tell how old something is based on the number of reviews. So this one's been around for a while. This is run-of-the-mill, right? But less than $200, you get a Chromebook. It works. And what's cool is you can install Linux on it, so there's a lot you can do with those, for sure. All right. I didn't do my hair. My the hair and makeup take the weekend off here on the channel. Let me go back to our questions. Some of these routers, by the way, look at this one. This looks ridiculous. Those antennas sticking out of it. I guess there's probably some functional need for that, but I mean, it looks like one of those sci-fi AI monsters that takes over your brain. Here's a game capture card. Here's an Android tablet with a keyboard. I didn't see any of this stuff when I was looking. I would have bought some of this stuff. Here's another Android tablet, $100. Yeah. All right, let's see what we got for some other questions here. I missed a bunch. Tristan is here. Hello, Tristan. It is 7:52, where Tristan's located. You're welcome, Namit. Yeah, we're going to start in 4 minutes. StreamX2 is here from Kabul. Hello. It is 5:22 p.m. in Kabul. People from all over the world. It's so fun to do this. I'm sitting in my basement here. It's on a rainy Sunday morning, and people from all over the world can share my love of tech, or our love of tech together. And Namit enjoys, great. I'm glad that worked out. I'm always happy when people find that their experience with the product matched my review, because that means that I was able to help, right? Lewis is here. Hello. Yeah, this is a very good one. There's no such thing as a good Pico projector. You're absolutely right about that. Stanster is here from Trinidad. Paul Wakefield is here. Yes, I'm going to try to get in more of those Asus Chromebooks, so stay tuned. We will do that. Oliver White is here. Rob says they deliver until 10 p.m. at night. Wow. They don't do that here. I think the latest I've gotten a delivery is like 8 o'clock. Good morning from the West Coast, Jedi Ninja X11. All right, yeah, we got 3 minutes until we're live on the deals page. I'm checking it. I'm hitting the refresh button to see if we are live yet. Let me go back to, yeah, we're still not up. So once we are up, I'm going to start taking the stuff out of the box. And Chris says, is this a box of stuff that I bought? Yes. Yes, they did not supply this stuff. So the way this works is we can get a kind of a preview of the deals that are coming up, and then everything in here I bought. And 2 of the things I already had. One of them got sent to me by accident, actually sent to my mother by accident, and it happened to be on deal today, so that one's good. And then the other one I just had for a while, so we'll disclose the source of everything as we go through this. But this time, yeah, they did not fund this. This is totally a Lon.TV funded endeavor. Bald Justice says it's 3 p.m. and the sun is out in Sweden. Well, you know, it's funny, where I am, it was beautiful yesterday. Like, we had a gorgeous day. I mean, low humidity, the sun was shining, it was just wonderful. And today it is raining, like really raining. But it's apparently going to let up in a little bit. But you know what that means? So my children are upstairs. Mom is grocery shopping right now. And that means that the children might invade the stream. I will keep you posted. I bought, so they're 8 and 5. So I bribed them with Toca World, which is a game they like to play. It's like one of those dollhouse apps. So I bribed them with that. And that seems to have kept them at bay for a little while. All right, I'm refreshing the deals page here. We should be showing up shortly. And once I go live there, then we'll start taking stuff out of the box. That is the plan. And Stephen Moranti is on the same time zone as me. That's right. It is now 8:59. And I think we'll see what's going on there. Jedi Ninja wants to know, what year are the baseball cards on the shelf? These are 1987 Topps. That was the year, so like right around that period of time, that was like the year of the Mark McGwire rookie card. And Topps like overproduced that year because like they were, okay, it looks like we're live here. Topps like overproduced that year, so they had more than they knew what to do with. And it was a real mess. So I'm just looking here. You know what's funny is the stream is not running, like it's not playing on Amazon. If I go back, because I know I'm live here, let me just make sure, because I know that I've got people on Amazon watching me. So let me just make sure that I am actually live and in motion here. Yeah, you know what's funny? Those of you on Amazon, I'm definitely live because I have viewers, but the stream is not playing on my web browser. Okay, so Ymir says I am live. So good, I'm going to take your word for it because for some reason it's not playing on my browser. So we will get moving here. So thank you, Ymir, for letting me know. So here's the deal, everybody. There are deals to be had. Now, in this box is a bunch of stuff that I bought myself that I was told are on sale today. So we are going to unbox things in this box that apparently are on sale today. And we're going to see what's in here. And some of this stuff will be fun because there will be some show and tell related to what's in here. So let's take some things out of this box. Now, what's interesting is that a couple of things that are on sale I already had. So it makes for a good stream. So let's see what we got here. Now, if you want to be surprised, then you can just not look down at the carousel. But if you don't care, it'll be front and center here. So let's go take some stuff out of the box, shall we? And we'll start with this thing. This is the Red Dragon K552 keyboard. This was $35, and it's got mechanical switches. So what's the deal on this one? Let's take a look. It is high quality LED backlit mechanical keyboard. And I think these are red switches or equivalent. Let's see. Yeah, red switches. US layout, red switches, made in China, even though it's got the flag on the front here. See, made in China. All right, so let's get this keyboard opened and see what we ended up with here. And sometimes having a little mini keyboard is nice. You know, it works like for my desk because I don't have a lot of desk space for my little live streaming studio here. So let's see what this looks like. And remember, I bought this. This is not something they sent me. This is like, I am experiencing the deals the same way everyone else would here. So here is the keyboard. It's got the red switches. It feels a little squishy. I thought reds were supposed to be a little clickier. But let's take a look at it. We're going to come back to the box in a second. So let's put that down here for a second. And I'll give you the overview here. And let's take it out, see how it works. So, and some of you keyboard experts will know. Good, everyone says they can see me opening the box on Amazon. Perfect, because for whatever reason, my browser was not showing any video. But that's okay, because if you can see it, that's all that matters. All right, so let's plug it in and see what we get here. It should light up. We may not be able to see the lights because of the studio lights that I've got running here. But let's take a look. We're going to just look at this briefly because we got to move through. Oh, it looks like it's got a nice little light pattern to it. And I'm guessing there's probably software here. Let me turn off the overheads real quick and see how those look. Let's do that real quick. So there you go. It lights up. And let me just run up my little notepad application here. I'm just going to type a little bit. Yeah, it feels good. It doesn't have, they say they're red switches. I mean, they're red in color. But I always thought red switches clicked more. These don't click at all. So they're mechanical, I'm guessing, but I don't know if these are like true red switches. I may be wrong, so if I am wrong, tell me. But they don't have like that satisfying click that I would have expected. Now, let's take a look at the manual. Let me turn the lights back on and see how we can configure the keys. Now we're going to go quickly through this today because I only have an hour to get through everything in this box that I bought. So let's take a quick look at the manual here and see how we can change the color of the keys and see if there's any software that we need. Selectable backlight modes. Okay, so it looks like there's no software. Oh, there is OS support, yeah. Yeah, I don't think there's any software. I think you just use the function keys. So I don't think you can control what each key does, but I can increase the brightness if I hold down function. Yeah, so that makes it less bright. I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad. I mean, it's got a good amount of tactile feel, but a couple things. The rubber feet don't feel like they're lining up very well. So you got 2 rubber feet at the bottom here, and these edges here are plastic. Yeah, so, you know, it's okay. But I think I would have preferred that they put some rubber on the top part here, because there isn't any, because it slides around a lot, because it doesn't have rubber on all 4 corners. But it feels mechanical. I just don't know if these are truly like real red keys or not. So we'll have to do a little more investigating into that. Okay. Simeon says, good for gaming, but not for typing. I would probably agree. I think, you know what? Honestly, it doesn't feel bad for typing. Let me see. I'm just going to type out something here. This is a test of the keyboard. You know, I'm not unhappy with it as a typing keyboard. I'll give you that. So, you know, it's cheap, it's mechanical, but I don't think it's like a true cherry red switch. And I think that's it. Yeah, they give you a sticker in the box too. You get a red dragon sticker. So there you go. All right, so that was the keyboard. Next item. I don't even remember what I got, to be honest with you. Let's take a look. See what else we got in here. All right. So, you know what I'm going to do next? Keeping with the theme. Here, hang on. I'm going to put this in the box. So this is what's funny. This next item came in not from the deals page, but my mother got this by accident. Like they sent it to her by accident, and then she went to return it, and they said, just keep it. So this came from Amazon to my mom by accident, and it turns out it was on the deals page today. So we're going to take a look at this. Give me 1 second here. And we're going to take it out of the box, see what we get. This is the Logitech G305. This is a low cost. Let me pull it up on my thing here. I think I had it on my carousel. There it is. This is a low cost wireless mouse. It's not Bluetooth, I don't think. I think it requires a dongle. But let's take a look at this one. So Rob was, yeah, we're still seeing some, oh, okay. So here's some input on the keyboard. Red has an actuation point, but no click. Okay, so that's what I felt. So then it does feel like a red key. Rob says, is it too light? I think the problem is that it didn't have rubber feet to hold it down on both ends. So here, I'll pull it back up here for a second, because there's still some discussion. So it has rubber feet here and here, but not here and there. Although, I guess if I put down these to angle it up a little bit, that'll keep it more steady. So I think it's more secure. Yeah, so it doesn't move around as much if you pull down the tabs here in the back. So it really slides around if you don't have it angled a bit. So if you have it like that, it stays put, at least a little better than it was. So I will retract my initial concern with that. So this is the G305 Lightspeed. This is from Logitech. They make a lot of this stuff. Comes with a battery. And again, this got sent to my mom by accident, but it's on sale today. Talk about luck. So let's take a look at it. This is not like a fancy mouse. It is a lower price device, but it's Logitech. And you get another sticker. Look at this. We've got a G and a dragon. I think they're complementary colors too, so you can put them on the back of your laptop. Apple had them beat. I used to get stickers with my old Apple IIs back in the day. So what I like about, and this design is nothing new, but you have your little storage bin for the dongle. So it does require the dongle. It's not Bluetooth, but it will work with anything that works with a mouse. It goes in like that. So let us take a look at what we've got here. Now there is a USB cable, and I'm assuming, because I don't think there's a USB port on this. So what this cable acts as is and actually this is kind of nice to get one of these in the box. This cable acts as an extender for the dongle. And I'm guessing it's only a USB 2 extender. And thank you for the follows, everybody, by the way. So this is like if you have your computer under the desk, sometimes the tracking might fall off from the dongle. So what you do is you put this like on next to your monitor and then plug the dongle into here. So I'll show you what that would look like. So you take the dongle out, put the dongle in here, and now you can extend it out, which is actually what we're going to do right now. And Simeon's got some great tips, by the way, if you're watching the YouTube, on different key types for different types of activities. So Simeon prefers brown keys and blues for typing. I've got a whole bunch of different keyboards. For me, it's like if I like it, I like it, and if I don't, I don't. It's kind of a weird thing. So, all right, we got a Duracell battery here. Now, the box says that you'll get 250 hours of gaming with a single AA battery. What I usually do with these is I get rechargeables. You know, those, which ones are those? Those Panasonic ones that I get. Gosh, I forgot the brand already. But those are the ones I typically go with. All right, and Danny Boy is here from Connecticut, a fellow nutmegger. Hello. All right, so now the mouse is on, and let's see if it's tracking here on my Mac. Not yet. I did plug it in. Did I plug? No, I didn't plug it in. So we got to plug in the. Got to plug it in. It don't work if you don't plug it in. There we go. Okay. And it is tracking. So let me show you. Let's see if I can do a 2-up here. Make us a lot of time for a 2-up. It does work. So what you got here, I'm just going to kind of run through this real quick. There are instructions. These are, maybe it's in here. There's a way to speed it up and slow it down. So I think this center button, yeah, so that makes it go super fast. So I'll show you what each mouse position does here. So let me scroll up a little bit. So this is not in real time. So I'm going to push the button here, and it's going super fast now. I'm going to push it again, and now it's going super slow. And then I'm going to push it again, and it's kind of just right. So you have like 3 sensitivity settings here. You got 2 buttons here on the side. These are like back and forward buttons. Very clicky, as you would expect. It doesn't need a lot of force to actuate a click. But the scroll wheel feels pretty good. If I had time, I would inset it over here so you could see it in real time. But it feels good. Feels good. So that is the G. I don't know if this works with the Logitech software. I don't think you can. I don't think there's any software that this works with. I'll double check. I might just do a quick review on the Extras channel with this one. But it doesn't have any software that I can see. All right. So that is the G305. All right, next, let's get our box back out on the desk here. All right, what else should we look at? I think I'm going to pull out, so we're going to go a little less interesting, but I think everyone needs something like this. You need some garage lights, right? Everybody needs garage lights? Now these I thought were on sale. I think they're still on sale. If they're not, I apologize. They were on sale at the time that I purchased them. So these are deformable LED garage lights. And I figured I would install one real quick. You get a 4-pack. Again, I paid for all of this. This is not from any of these manufacturers. And then, so the install steps. So these screw into your normal light bulb, but they're all LEDs. And apparently they'll be brighter than what you've connected. I don't know what the power consumption is. I can get my kilowatt out later and measure that. So what you have to do is kind of put them into position here. And then, and we're going to do a live demo right now. So I'm going to go hit my camera here. And there's a light bulb in the room next to my garage here, or basement. I'm just going to step in here. If I lose you, I'll be right back. And I've got an LED bulb in here right now, as a matter of fact, but we're going to replace it with this one. Let's see how bright it is. All right, there we go. And I'm going to take out this bulb here. This is an older compact fluorescent. And let's see how bright this is when I turn on the light. You ready? Let's get the door open there. So we got it up there. Wow, not bad. I would say, it's probably brighter than the bulb that was in there. What I might do, though, is point this one. They're very cold, as you can see. I might point this one out a little bit because it's very directional light. That's what it looks like to me. So let me plug in another one, and we'll see how. But they are definitely bright. The light just doesn't carry very far because they're very directional. They're pointing downward. Let me grab my PTZ camera here and zoom out a bit because I have another one. And this camera does really well in lower light, so that's part of what we're seeing here. So let's plug in another one right here. And again, we'll go ahead and do this. And I'm going to put this one in right above. And let's go. This one's going to light up real quick here. Whoa, that's bright. Okay, yeah. So it doesn't diffuse like a bulb would. So when you have like one of these LED bulbs, the light kind of diffuses out. It's softer. So this is a much harder light. But you know what? Now that I'm looking at both bulbs installed, it's much brighter in there. It's very much a colder light. Let me get this. But it's super bright. I don't know what the power consumption is on these. Let me see if it says it on the box. It says 5,000 lumens, but it doesn't mean much these days. What's the power consumption on this? It doesn't say. Maybe somebody can look it up. But quite bright. Let me give you another view of that. We'll tilt the PTZ camera down a bit. So it looks good. I'm going to keep them there. I'll probably install the other two. So this is a 4-pack. So not bad. So thought you'd find that one interesting. So that is the 4-pack LED garage lights. Next up. And Richard Barnett says he's got them in his garage. And they are very bright. And while I get configured here, I'll answer a question here from Josh about the new. So the UMD Pro is the Unified Dream Machine. It means UDM. And that's the router that I use. So that's the router that's broadcasting out right now. And here, I'll give you another look at the lights here. And the new one they announced has a faster processor, and it has PoE built in. So it looks good. I'm not going to upgrade just because I don't have a need for that. But the only issue, though, with the new UDM Pro, I'm just going to do a zoom here. Yes, I have steel supports. So this part of my basement goes under my front porch. It is like a bomb shelter. But you can see they're really bright. Now, one thing that Tano is bringing up here, and he's right about this, is that these are very cold lights. So these are going to be kind of the replacement that you would have for like a fluorescent in the garage or something. So they're quite blue, very cold. So I prefer a warmer light in my home. So my studio house lights are warmer lights, but you can get a feel for what that looks like. And by the way, in case you're wondering what this stuff is over here, so I live in an area where we don't have city water. So this is my water system. Isn't that cool? So this comes in from the ground. We have a well. It's a couple hundred feet underground, and it pumps into that pressure tank right here. And the pressure tank serves the house. So that's how we get water. We also are responsible for our own export of wastewater. And as Sticky points out, you want the blue for better visual acuity. So that's why a garage light is going to have that color temperature. That is correct. And we got a bunch of new follows on Amazon. Thank you all for the following. And let's take a look at the next item. Here, we'll do some of the more boring stuff. But you know, you never can have enough of these. So let's see, what else we got in here? All right. Oh boy, it's heavy. This is the heaviest part of this box. This probably weighs like 15 pounds. What do you think is in here? Well, actually, if you're watching Amazon, you know. So this is Amazon Basics batteries. And these are AA's. So when our mouse battery dies, you get some more. Lots of them. Amazon Basics. 5 to a pack. And I've got, you know, I use rechargeables whenever I can. But what happens is that I've got a bunch of stuff like my smart door locks, like the barbecue igniter, like all that stuff. So I don't use a lot of disposable batteries, but there are some devices that it makes sense to have one. And my town hall now collects batteries when we're done with them. So we actually have a recycling program in my town. So we just bring them down to town hall and have them recycled when we're done with them. But you know, you need some of these because like some of these items like the smart door locks, they go forever, right? So those things make a lot of sense. All right, what else do we got in here? I thought I had one other thing. Well, I do have one more thing in here. I have a couple more things to show you, but let me see. Where is the next item here? Let's take a look. Yeah, we got that one. Let me do, this is going to be a theme, this next two. So let me get the box configured here, and we will take a look at the next two in one shot here. All right, box is back. Next up. Now this is actually, if you have a Nintendo Switch, we're going to talk about the Nintendo Switch a little bit now. Now if you have a Switch, this is really helpful for that. Now this is one I've already owned, so I'm just being theatrical here and taking it out of the box. But this is the Nintendo Switch Amazon Basics Pro Controller Charger. How does this work? Well, let me show you. Let me see if I can get my other camera to whip around here and give a better angle of this. Let's take a look and see if that will work. Let's see, I'm just making this, setting up the shot right now. My room is so messy lately, my production environment here. All right, so I'm at the maximum. Let me just turn it around a little bit that way. And let's see if I can go a little bit further with it. So it's about as far as I can go. Hang on one second. Let's get this reconfigured a little bit. So I got this PTZ camera here, which works great, but there's a limit to how far back it can look. So give me 1 second here, we'll get that going. Anyway, let's take a look at this thing. So this is a charger for your Pro controller. So if you have a Nintendo Switch, and if you're like me, your kids never remember to put the charger back where it belongs, right? That happens a lot to me. Here, I got a good shot now. So what this does, let me give you the better shot. So what this does, see I don't have my white balance matched on those two cameras. So this is a pretty simple device here. You've got the charger, and it has a USB cable on the end of it. This is a really simple charging apparatus here. Let me get it positioned correctly. And all it does, I'm just not used to having a camera on that side. You know what, I'm going to go the other way, because I have to move it over a little bit here to get it plugged in. So I'm just going to plug it into a USB power source. You could plug this in to your Switch dock. It doesn't need to be plugged into its own power supply if you don't need to. So if you have a Switch dock, which most of you do, it just plugs into that. All right, so now I have my Pro controller. It doesn't come with the Pro controller, but it fits it perfectly. So what you do is just get it positioned, and then it charges up. That's it. So, you know, it's simple, but what happens is my kids never remember to charge the controller. So what happens is that they play Animal Crossing or whatever they're playing, and then I hear, "Daddy, the controller's not working," because they forget to plug it in. And I found this was an easier thing to train them on because all you have to do is just put the controller into it. There's nothing to plug in, and there's a red light to tell you that it's charging. And then you can take it back out again. So that works. I've had this for a while, and this has been really helpful for that kind of stuff. So take it out, plug it back in. Perfect for the Nintendo Switch, for sure, most of the time. And you just want to wait to make sure that that red light shows up. That's also helpful because like when I train the, I feel like I'm talking about my pets, but like when I train the kids, I said, take the controller, and you want to put it in here, and you have to kind of align it so it's got the USB-C port sticking out of there. It connects up with this. You just get it aligned there, and you're good to go. Now you could plug other things in, but not everything is going to fit, right? So I'm just trying to see if I have anything else that has a port on it handy. So it's really just going to fit the Pro controller perfectly, and that's how that works. And let's see, we got another question here from Sharatz. So my favorite pair of headphones are my Sennheiser Momentums. I have a pair. Let me go take a look and see if I've got one over here. These are not on sale today. I have two of these because a friend of mine works at Sennheiser. so these are their smaller ones. And there's also a larger, so these are their on-ear ones. Sennheiser Momentum. So here's my preference. I don't like overly bassy headphones. I like a full range of sound. And these by far, these and the other ones I have are the best I've ever owned. These are over the ear, so they get a little less comfortable over time, or on the ear. They have an over the ear version. That's what I use with my VR headset, and those are awesome. So I like those quite a bit. But they are not on sale. Rarely do they go on sale because they are so good. Bruce Johnston is here. Hey, Bruce, plug your website on the chat. Bruce is starting up a website. And George says, I found these kinds of things. Yeah, you got to be careful with the kids. Like I've had this for over a year. You know, I think what you want to do is it feels pretty good. Like it doesn't feel like it's going to break off on you. It's actually got a nice feel to it. You just want to be careful. Like you want the kids to be, it's hard to make them be gentle, but you want them to be kind of gentle when they put it in, just to make sure that it's in a good spot. And Tano says the problem is you can't play while it charges. That is correct. So this is not a charge and play. So you could, of course, just run a USB cable to it. But the battery life on the Pro controller is really good. So what we've gotten into the habit of is that when we're done playing with the Switch for the day, we put the controller back in the charger. And I've got a few other of those 8-bit-do controllers that we use, which are not, those are not, whatchamacallit, cradled devices. But this one seems to work pretty well. You know, it's funny, I've been tearing through this box. I've got like one thing left. So let's do that, and then we'll recap and answer questions. And it looks like I ordered the wrong, hang on a second. I have to go get something from upstairs real quick. And let me, hang on one second. I will be right back. Let me make a little, I'm going to make a little thing that says I'll be right back. Because I have to go get the other Switch that I've got upstairs. Because I totally forgot that, which is good. I can stretch it out. And I know why I did this. I did it on purpose because my wife has a Switch Lite, and I already have a Switch thing. So give me 1 second here, make a new title. This one will work. I'll be right back. And we'll say, talk amongst yourselves. Okay, there we go. So watch this. We're going to put this up live real quick. 1 second. Let me get this real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay. Okay, we're back. Okay, so it involves the switch light. And we'll see what we've got here. So I just got a recommendation from Richard Barnett about the Ontel Battery Daddy. Well, that's pretty cool, a battery organizer case. Yes, that is something I need. Let me get that on screen real quick. I'm going to share it with my laptop here. Anthony says, I'm invisible. Yes, I disappeared for a minute. My tech guy wants to know, can you watch this on the Echo? I'm not sure if it shows up on the Echo or not. That's a good question. So let's see what we've got here. Okay, so let me get, hit the wrong button here. Let me get that thing up on screen here. So this is the Ontel Battery Daddy. I may get one of these. This looks like something I could use. So this will organize all of your batteries. Look at that. You know, it's funny because we have a drawer that's just full of batteries of just varying sizes. So we need that. I'm going to pick one of those up. Maybe we'll do a review of that at some point. That'd be kind of fun. All right. Let's go back to the chat. And we'll see what we got here. So bear with me. All right. I'm hoping I am doing the right things here on this stream. So I've got my switch light out. And the reason I have the switch light out is that there is, oops, another item in my list here that I ordered. Actually, it's not on the list. Where did it go? Hang on, I got to add this to my carousel. So this is the carry case, let's see. I got to just add this, so give me 1 second. The Orsley carrying case. I'm pretty sure this is on deal today, because I saw this on the deal thing a little bit earlier. Actually, I'll go back into my order list here. I should be able to find it. Hang on, folks. Be right there. Huh, it's not, there it is. Carry case for Nintendo Switch. This is it. And this apparently is on sale today. So let me add this. So I'm going to add this to the carousel if you are watching on Amazon. And we'll see how this thing comes together. Oh, it's on there. Okay, remember, I must have missed it on my stream here. Let's take a look. Where did it go? There it is. Okay. So this is the Switch Lite carry case from Orsley. And I got this because I paid for this in my own funds. I got this because we have two switches in the family. We've got a Switch Lite and a regular Switch. So that's what I had to go up and get. And so this is a carry case. This one actually feels pretty nice. This is not bad. I didn't know what, I just saw that it was going to be part of the deals today, so that's why I went with this one. And this one is not bad. It is going to fit the Switch Lite. And you got seat belts on it to keep it from falling out, right? And then you've got room up here. So you've got a pretty good area for storing stuff. You've got a zipper case here so you could put your USB cables and things in there. And then I've seen this design before. We have another Switch case that has a similar design. So this flap here protects the screen, and it's got a nice soft kind of padding material to it. So that goes over the top. That's pretty cool. And let's take a look here. So now I've got some games that I can put in here. Where did my game case go? So I had my Switch game case. Where did it go? So I have some games that I can throw in here real quick. Let me go grab those real quick, and I'll show you how that works. Because it has like spots for 6 games. And one of the things that we looked at a few weeks ago was this switch case. Sorry for the squeaky doors, everybody. And I'm just going to grab that real quick. I was unprepared for class today. So I had bought this switch case the other day, and so the problem with this one is that it covers up the games, right? Now I know what these are because I could see enough of the label to get a feel for that. But on here, this will hold 8 games. And we can put the games in and we can actually see what they are. See that? So it has like a mesh to it. So let's put a couple in here. So you can see, you can kind of see through it to see what game you're looking to get out of it. It holds them pretty nicely, actually. So again, you got 8 games here. You could probably put more in this mesh pocket here. And then it folds up. And it's got a nice little handle on there, right? Protects it pretty well. Not bad. So that's the Orsley Switch Lite carrying case. Not bad. Give you the other view here. And then you just have to engage the seat belt because otherwise it'll fall out. But that's not bad. So we're hoping to do some traveling this year, so this might be good for the kids. Because we have 2 switches. We've got my regular one. So this is my day one. It's filthy. Both of them are dirty because the kids get this stuff and they just make it dirty. So I've got my day one switch here. That won't fit in this case. This is for the Switch Lite. But these are the 2 that we have. And so I have 2 kids, which means that everybody's happy. And I have 2 copies of Animal Crossing so that they can visit each other's islands. That's a whole other story. So Nintendo knows how to make money. Let's just put it that way. I think that's the moral of the story here. But that is, let me zoom this camera out a little bit here. That is the Switch Lite carrying case from Orsley. Pretty good stuff. Josh Talley sent me a Squeaks Be Gone lubricant for my doors. Thank you for that. That'll help with some of the squeaky doors we have here in the house. Yeah, I've got a can of WD-40 somewhere, but the rule in this house is that I am not to try to fix anything myself, because whenever I do that, it gets worse. But I think I could probably fix the door squeaks. I will say, though, I like the door squeaks because, so look, you can invest in one of those fancy security systems that will notify you every time somebody opens a door. Or you can just have a really squeaky door, and then it relies on no technology. So I know when my children don't escape, they're pretty happy living here with me. But if one of them decides to walk out the door, I hear it. So every one of my doors squeaks to some degree or another. But I know when my wife gets home, I know, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of like, it's like an indicator, a very low-tech indicator that somebody's moving around the house. So that's how it works. So Heineken, I'll take some questions now because I've unboxed everything that I have on deal. I will actually, let me show you one other deal today, in case you're interested. I did not buy this. I was thinking about it, but I was like, I got this on one of my streaming services. But they have a sale today on the complete series of Battlestar Galactica. It's not inexpensive. But let's take a look at that. So you see we're on that product page. This is on sale today, I believe. This is Battlestar Galactica, the complete series, with great show. This includes the mini series. So this started, I guess, almost 20 years ago now. So this started with a mini series that was excellent. It was a reboot of the old Battlestar Galactica from Days Gone By. And Edward James Olmos is in it. He's great actors and actresses here. Katie Sackhoff, who is now on The Mandalorian, was in that one. Great show. I mean, really like awesome start to finish. So on sale. I was almost going to get it, and then I said, it's on one of my streaming services, so I'm good. But definitely worth a look. Another item that I thought I ordered and I didn't get, but it might be worth looking at, let me pull this up for you real quick, is this one. This is and I thought I ordered this. I guess I must have not done it. This is a very simple device, but this is the Casa Outdoor Smart Plug. And I've got a similar one that I use for my holiday lights, the Christmas lights out back. And they've got a bunch of stuff that you can use it with, and it's designed for outdoor use. I don't know if they are independently controlled. I think it's on or off for the whole thing. But these are really handy. I'm pretty sure. Let's take a look and see. Schedules control from anywhere. Let's see what it looks like here. Amir has one of these things, he says. Yes. So, you can. Okay. So this is better than the one I have. So I have like one from, who's the other company that makes this stuff? But you can control each outlet individually. So that's helpful. And so then you can create, like in your Alexa or whatever, you can create like a group. So I would say, around the holiday time, I had a bunch of these smart plugs all over the house, and I would say, turn on Christmas, and everything lights up. The outdoor lights, the indoor lights, everything, like all at once. And the trees, it's just like, you feel like a real, you have the ability to really affect those things. So that's a lot of fun. So Battlestar, yes, Battlestar and the Casa plug. I'm actually regretting not getting that Casa plug because I would have liked to have had the ability to independently control both outlets. So that's a good deal if you're looking for that. So this would be similar to the Wise thing. And what's nice is that when you use something like this with your Alexa, or I think it works with Google and the Amazon A word. I'm going to say A word instead of the so yeah, I said the A word. Sorry, everybody. You can set them up as groups. So for example, in the case of my holiday light scenario, I had the one out back, which was made by one manufacturer. I forgot which one it was. And then the indoor plugs were all Wise plugs. So those are different apps to configure. But the A word and the Google thing can consolidate multiple brands into a room. So I created a room called Christmas. And so when I said turn on Christmas, it turned on all of the different smart plugs that were in that group together. And so that's why using the A word or the Google Home kind of frees you from having to stick with one brand over another. They can be connected to multiple brands. So that is really, really helpful. Prime likes the TP-Link Casa. Yeah, I like TP-Link overall. The one issue that, and Amir also said the same thing. I'm not sure if Amir and Prime are the same people. The one thing that I like about them is that TP-Link makes really good networking gear. What I don't like, at least maybe in the past, the Casa lights don't update their firmware automatically. You have to go in and check. I don't know if they've made it automatic now or not, but I get very nervous about things that don't update, especially with security and stuff. But I've been a pretty big fan of the Casa lights there. They're good stuff. My tech guy wants to know if I tried the Yi cameras. I have used a few of them. I reviewed one a while ago, so I haven't looked at one recently. It's funny. What happens with me is that I find something that works, and it just is what I end up using, right? Like that's how I usually go with it. George is asking, this was a good question from George earlier. Am I finding it hard to find my games in here? And yeah, not really. I mean, this case is different than the one we were looking at a minute ago. They stick up far enough that I know what they are, but I did hear from a bunch of people that said, oh, it's hard to find the games that I'm looking for. I mean, I know what the labels look like, so that's been helpful. And my kids are pretty good at finding what they're looking for, too. So far, so good. I like to just keep everything in one place. So that's why I like cases like this one, which we just looked at, which is that you've got room for everything. You can take it all with you, which is the way you want to go. And I really like the fact that you've got the zipper case here, so you can store more than the 8 if you have more to travel with. It's pretty good. It's a semi-hard case, so it's got some structure to the sides, which will help you a little bit, but it's not. I wouldn't call this crush-proof. So that's where I would go with it. Prime prefers the Ys to the Yi, and I would agree. I like the Y stuff. What happens is you get into that ecosystem, and the Wise app is pretty good. Joe Tyson is here. We're doing a little bit of an earlier stream today because we are streaming during the Amazon live deals today. And next time I'm going to get more stuff because we breezed through it pretty quickly. So to recap what we did, let me see if I can get my PTZ camera to swing back around here, or I could reposition it. Let's see if I can get it to point in the other direction here. So we looked at a bunch of stuff this morning. We got in. Maybe I'll just go back and recap. Let's just do that because I got about 15 minutes here. So to recap, we got, where did it go? This keyboard, and I bought all of this. This is all stuff that I purchased with my own funds. So we got the Red Dragon with the red keycaps, kind of a basic mechanical keyboard, but I actually found it pretty comfortable to type on. You don't get a lot of control over the lighting, so you can adjust the lighting with a function key. Don't lose the instructions which I already did, because it tells you all the different key combinations to get the different colors to light up. You can't individually control keys on this, but it does have some RGB backlighting. It is mechanical. It does appear to have, it says it uses red switches. I can't tell if these are legit cherry switches or not. They don't click, so you do get the actuation and that travel that you would expect, but it's not a clicky keyboard. But it has that mechanical echo to it, so there's that. But it's got a good amount of travel to the keys. So that's one thing that I found nice about it. So that is decent enough. And as Sharat says, yes, there is no number pad on this. This is like a compact keyboard. It's kind of heavy in a good way. It doesn't feel cheap. One thing that you'll want to do is make sure that these feet are down on the back. Otherwise, it slides around too much. So that was the keyboard. George is looking for a wireless mechanical keyboard. I would look at maybe the Razors for that, or I think Logitech might have one. That's pretty. Actually, I've looked at a Logitech. It's kind of a thinner one. It's in my closet over there. I got to get it out later. Not bad. And then we looked at the. Actually, I'm going to put everything back together here before I forget. And then we looked at the Logitech mouse here. This is on deal today as well, $38. Wireless mouse, not Bluetooth, so you need the dongle. But I found with these Logitech things is that they work with anything that supports a mouse. It's a standard mouse driver. There's no special configuration on this one. It is basic transportation, but it works. You got an on-off switch here at the bottom, by the way. So there's no software configuration. This button here will change the sensitivity. Looks like there was 3 different settings. And it's got a battery, runs on a AA. So you can, run it for, they say 250 hours on a single battery. Your mileage will vary. Rechargeables work well in this kind of environment. I use rechargeables as often as I can. But I just like that they've got a little storage area for the dongle. If you're going to require a dongle, at least allow the dongle to be with the mouse. So that's pretty good here. Green and on. I love how there's such a community around keyboards. So those are the switches that they're using. So definitely not a cherry switch. I couldn't imagine at that price it being cherry switches. Sharat liked my video about the pluggable docking station. Jay has a Red Dragon Varuna with blue. And those are the clickier ones, I think, right? So that might work. And George makes a good point also about latency, that the 2.4 gigahertz direct connections, and Bluetooth works over 2.4, but you have a lot of layers to it depending on the computer. So you're right, it provides better latency. So this is not like a fancy gaming mouse. It's kind of in their gaming brand. It's a G305. So they're marketing this as a gaming device. It's not as fancy as some of the other ones that are out there, but it looks cool. They have a couple different colors available on this one. So you got that. And Don makes a point about wake time on wireless mechanical keyboards. You have to actuate, right, to turn them back on to save battery. Mark Dell has been looking into some ortholinear keyboards. I fear I might be getting too close to getting keyboard. What is an ortholinear keyboard? Let me know what that is. Because I'm sure there's like entire YouTube channels that are all about like that depth of keyboard knowledge. And hello, Mark Dell. It's good to see you again. We haven't seen you in a while. So we got that. What else did we get today? So then we got the lights. Let me show you my fancy lights. Let's pull up my... I'm actually pretty happy with these lights. Actually, I'll show you two things. I'm going to show you the lights that we installed up in the basement layer here. And then I will show you what they look like. So I bought a 4-pack of these lights. And this is all stuff that I kind of needed. Well, not the keyboard. The mouse, remember the mouse they sent to my mom by accident. So it was funny, I was going through the deals. I'm like, oh, that's what the mouse that they sent to mom by accident. So my mom gets this and she's like, I didn't order this. Mom's not a gamer. So these are these LED garage lights. So you can see what they look like here. I don't know what the wattage on these are. I'll have to measure it with my kilowatt later. Yeah, it doesn't say what the wattage is. The color temperature is 6,500 Kelvin, so they're quite blue and cold. That's why they're kind of marketing them as garage lights. Like this is the kind of light you want in your basement, and I'll show you. Sorry for the mess. So I've got 2 of them running right now, and actually they're much brighter than the bulbs I had in there before. So you can see it's like blowing out my camera. But what I did do is because you can point them. So what we did with the one over here, because they're very directional. So you can direct each corner of it, which is kind of neat because if you, oops, I didn't mean to do that. It's kind of neat because if you have, hang on, I just didn't even show it to you. Hang on, here we go. What's kind of neat about this is they're directional. So you can point them in a direction. So I'm sorry for the crooked angle here. So what I did with mine is I've got part of it pointing down, and then the left side I've got pointing out. So you can kind of direct the vertical on this. So it's a little better than a light bulb. Although a light bulb, as I mentioned before, will kind of, when you have a bulb, it's most of the time they have a diffuser on it. So this bulb has less LEDs than those do, but it diffuses the light. So you don't, you know what I mean? It diffuses, it softens the light, and then it's going in all directions. These are much more directional, as you can see. But it looks pretty good. So we got those. Joshua makes a good point here that nothing is better than the IBM Model M keyboard. Yeah, Lazy Game Reviews, I think, that's his favorite keyboard. And Mark is looking for a 60% keyboard. And Cyber Services, only if there were a wider selection of ortholinear keyboards. I have no idea what those are. I'll have to look those up. And thank you everyone on Amazon for the follow. We got about 5 minutes left on the Amazon deals page before the next person takes over. We also bought some batteries because you can never have enough batteries, right? So where did my batteries go? I got like boxes of batteries now. So my wife will never say, where's the batteries? Because we got them somewhere. Here they are. Oh, they're heavy. They're heavy. So we've got lots of batteries. And they're packed in rows of 5 here. And like I said, I always try to use rechargeables as best whenever I can, but there's some things that just don't work well with rechargeables. So that is why you go with the alkalines sometimes. So there you go. What else we got? Oh, heavy, heavy, heavy. So then we got the switch case, which we just talked about. Oh yes, the charger for the Xbox or the Nintendo Switch charger. So this is it here. I'll give you a better angle here. And what you do, it doesn't charge the Switch. It's not a Switch dock. It is a dock for your Pro controller. And I've had this for a while. And it goes in like that, and then it charges. Like I said, I trained the kids to use this. Larry H. says, it's hard to find 3:2 aspect ratio Chromebooks. It is sometimes. The HP one that I looked at, one of the HPs, a little on the pricier side because it's got a faster processor. I think, which one was that? Was that the HP 14? But I definitely reviewed an HP Chromebook with a 3:2. So if you go and look in if you do a search for HP 3:2, you should be able to find that. Oh, so Cyber Surfer says ortholinear keyboards have keys in straight columns as opposed to be overlapping from each other. That is going down. See, I'm too much of an old school. So I took typing in high school, 2 years of it. So what happened was I was working in my dad's office, and he was watching me type with I was very quick with 2 fingers. And he said, son, you need to take a typing class. So I said, okay. And it got me out of like some other classes I didn't want to take. So I took typing. I took 2 years of it. And every year at the end of the school year, we had a awards banquet for academic awards. And I won the typing award for 2 years straight. My father was so proud of me. Told all his friends that my son won the typing award. Tech is asking, do the Amazon batteries leak less than Duracell? I have no idea. I would always recommend that when your devices are not in use, take the batteries out, because most of these alkaline batteries will leak eventually. And Jay says I can play with my Game Boy for 3 days straight. Or if I had my Sega Game Gear, I could go about 4 hours, right? Those things, 8 batteries, the Game Gears. George is so quick, I can beat the normal typing speed with my 2 fingers. It's possible. It's definitely possible. You can get quick enough on it. It was funny though, because I knew where the keys were already, I transitioned to touch typing very quickly. And I remember we had, so this was 1992. So we were no longer using those IBM, so we had those IBM Selectric typewriters in school. And then when I started taking typing, they had moved us to the Apple IIes. So in some ways typing was not comfortable back then, no matter what you used, because the devices were so big and high. Like you didn't have these keyboards with the wrist rests and your fingers kind of aligned. Like you had there was a lot more height that you had to get. And the Apple IIe had a very high keyboard. So you were always kind of high. You couldn't really move the keyboards around. We did not have IBM computers in my school. We had Apple IIs. Bruce was playing Taboo with his kids, and they didn't know about the floppy disk. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I had to explain to my daughter the other day about film, like camera film. We were watching. I was watching some UFO stuff with my daughter, and we were watching the documentary The Phenomenon, which was excellent. We were watching the last part of it. And what's nice is my oldest is not afraid of the topic, which is great. So we were watching the Zimbabwe section of that. If you haven't seen it, you got to watch that last part. And these kids saw something land in their schoolyard, allegedly. And she said, why didn't anybody take a picture of it? I said, because nobody had a camera back then like they do now. And she goes, really? And I said, yeah, people had cameras, but you needed to have film. Like you just didn't bring your camera to school every day. And she goes, what's film? I had to explain the whole, the whole film thing. I mean, here these kids are walking around with cameras all day long. It's crazy, which is, not always the best thing. George has said that he's seen people recognize the floppy disk as a save icon. Yeah, that's what's funny. I think Microsoft, didn't they change the save icon away from the floppy disk because nobody knew what it was? Right? It was a representation. Sharat says, how do I have so much time with my kids? Well, you know how I have so much time? I work out of my basement. So because I work at home, I'm around them a lot. So that's how I'm able to do that. But my wife, thankfully, takes them to the beach. So right now it's summertime here in the U.S., so we don't have school during the summer. So the kids are spending a lot of time down at the beach, which has been great. We have a beach nearby, so they've been doing a lot of beaching. Mark Dell says, I'm making him feel old. Well, you're younger than me, I think, right? So yeah, it's crazy. When you hit 40, it's like, wow, I'm 40. I'm like as old as my parents. Like this is the period of time, the last 3 or 4 years, because I remember when my parents were 40, right? So like you have a different perspective. I don't remember my parents in their 20s. My parents had me like when I was like 25, 26. So it's kind of funny how that is. So let me go back. I just want to make sure we're off. I think we're off the deal page now. I'm going to have to run in a few minutes because my kids will be looking for me. I think my wife set an alarm clock upstairs. Yeah, it looks like we're off. Perfect. So yeah. But yeah, this was a fun stream today. Hopefully people enjoyed it. I'm not done yet. I'll take a few more questions though. Now the pressure's off. We got the deals done. So we're still on Amazon. We're just not on the home screen like we were before. Joe says that Anker used to make a line of batteries that they claim didn't leak, but they appear to have stopped making them. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, you know which ones I use? Let me go get them real quick. I'll show you. It's the Enter loops. That's what I use. And the reason why I use the Enter loops is that they hold their charge when you're not using them. So a lot of the nickel metal hydride batteries. Yeah, so here, I'll show you these here. Oops, I don't think these are on sale, but these are the ones that I use. So I used to use some other brand, and they were good batteries, but they didn't, let me find yeah, these are the ones. They're not cheap, but they hold their charge. So what happens is you can charge them and then take them off the charger and they retain the charge longer. So as it says here, and who knows exactly what it is, but they hold 85% of their charge for up to a year when not in use. And so I've got some that I bought like 7 or 8 years ago that are still going. And what I have is I have a charger back there and I just pop them in and then pop them out when I need them. But they disappear over time. Like the kids put them in things and you put them in something and you forget you put them in it. So I'm always like out of batteries, even though I've got rechargeables all over the place. So those are the ones that I typically use. Oh, Mark Dell is barely younger. He's over 42. Good. So we're both old. It's good to be old. Big J from the Philippines. Hello. Thank you for joining me. Cyber Surfer. Is YouTube my main gig? Yes, this is my main gig, although it's YouTube and it's Amazon. So a lot of what I do on YouTube goes up on Amazon. So for example, the stream today, so I have 2 trophies back there. I've got my Amazon trophy and I've got my YouTube trophy. So I am an Amazon A-lister streamer, which means that I get offered the opportunity to do things on the front page of Amazon every once in a while. So that was today. And then I also do a lot on YouTube. So a big part of what makes this work is the Amazon component. And I did a full video on their influencer program. So that's really helped kind of stabilize the revenue for the channel to make me feel comfortable doing this full time. So it works out well. Super Tiger is here on Amazon. Hello. Let's see. Bruce says, I'm over 55, you youngins. I'm catching up with you, although I'll never quite catch up, will I? And Semian is also using the Underloop Pros. Yeah, they're good batteries. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the nickel metal hydride batteries have slightly less voltage than the alkalines. So some devices require the alkaline. And I remember back in the 90s, there was a rechargeable alkaline battery. I used to use those with my Newton, but the battery life was all over the place. Kerry Hamrick wants to know, when am I going to space on Blue Origin? My phone is always open. I am up for a Blue Origin flight whenever they want. I just can't afford to pay $500,000 to go up on it. But if Mr. Bezos wants a co-pilot, I'm all in. I did, though, as many of you know, I applied and did not get, but I applied for the Inspiration 4 mission, and that's the one that's going up on SpaceX. That's like a legit astronaut activity. They're actually doing they're in like 7-day-a-week intensive training. In fact, they have I guess they're going to be doing a 30-hour simulation of the entire mission within the simulator. So that's like, that's hardcore training right there. So they will earn their astronaut wings, that crew. And they're going up in the same SpaceX capsule that they sent NASA's people up in. So it's pretty much the same, like those people are civilians but are being trained astronauts. And so the young woman on that flight, she's no longer going to be the youngest person in space. She's going to be the youngest woman in space, but she's going to be the youngest person ever to be in orbit for more than a day. How's that? So that's pretty cool. Jay says I should review the SpaceX capsule. Yes, I've done a bunch. If you go on my YouTube channel, we've got a bunch of SpaceX content. So I've been to 3 SpaceX launches. One got scrubbed, but I was at a launch of a Falcon 9. This was right before they started bringing them back to the barges. And then I also went to a Falcon Heavy launch, and I was at the last 3 space shuttle launches. And then I'll be going down for the Inspiration mission because there was only, here's the thing, there was only like 150 of us that actually applied for that. So I think they're going to be giving they're going to help subsidize travel to go down and see it. So I'm definitely going to go down and do that. I haven't traveled anywhere in like 2 years, so I'm eager to just go someplace. Carrie wants to know, are there any good button-type batteries that are rechargeable? I don't know of any. There's some that actually, by design, recharge through the electronics that they're used with, but I don't think there's a good button-type rechargeable, partly because they last so long in the devices that they're used in, depending on what it is. And George makes a good point that if the batteries are recycled, they're not much worse environmentally. Yeah, like I said, my town hall's taking them. Is taking them now, so I'm going to start bringing more. I got a bunch of dead batteries I got to bring down to them. And Mark says at least all the batteries you use now are AA or AAA or better. Yeah, I've got a couple things that use a D battery, but not much these days. Back when I was a kid, everything used D batteries. I remember like the big radio we had for storms and stuff. Like that one was like on D batteries. Prime says it's not yet raining in Florida, so it's a good pool day for you. Excellent. Yeah, we've had a week of great weather, so I'm not complaining. And what's great is that we've had great weather, and then we'd have like these afternoon storms. So it's kind of like Florida weather, actually. So what's been great about that is that we haven't had to water the garden, but we still had all the sun, which is great. And our garden has been producing tomatoes and zucchini and peppers. We've had a great garden season. Joshua's birthday is August 14th. He's almost 19. Happy birthday. Lithium batteries are claimed not to leak. Yes, so that's the other thing. The Blink camera, which runs on 2 AA batteries, requires the lithium to use. And there's also, let me show you these. I got these in a while ago. Then I got to run because the kids are very quiet upstairs. And that's always a bad sign that something treacherous is occurring. I think I still have these over here. Let's see if yeah, here's one of them. I ended up not reviewing these because they were just not good. But you're going to see a lot of this. And I would always recommend going with the inner loops and a charger versus these. So this one I got from the company. This is called the Pale Blue, but this is just like another knockoff brand. Like these are all coming out of the same factory in China. So this is a 1.5 volt AA lithium ion battery. But look at the capacity issues here. So even though lithium batteries have higher density, part of the battery is taken up by the charging mechanism up here. So you don't get all that much functional battery, so they don't last that long. And then you got to recharge them, obviously. And they really like just drop off. So you lose power very quickly. And I put 2 of these in my Blink camera, and it actually broke the camera. So I'd be really careful with these. But these did not work very well. I mean, granted, you have the charger built in. But we did a test where I ran, what was I testing? I had so I ran one of those Raspberry Pi. I had this Raspberry Pi Game Boy thing that runs on AA batteries. I ran it on the inner loops with some old inner loops. Like these batteries have been discharged. They're probably about half their useful life at this point. And then I put 4 of these in there. And the old inner loops lasted like 4 hours, 3 hours longer. Like it was a significant length of time longer than these did. So I would not look at these AA things there. Yeah, so I've not been happy with those. But there's also like disposable lithium batteries, which are safer than these might be. So that's what I use there. And Bruce has a website called Tech Outlet. It's at techoutlet.com. Let's see, what's the address, Bruce? Put it in the and Mark Dell will unmute the chat to help you promote that. Because if it doesn't let you put the link in, just Mark Dell will fix it. He's our moderator. What else we got here? Yeah, so these are, it's a neat idea because it's kind of nice not to have the charger. You can just charge the batteries wherever you go with the USB cable, but they didn't quite do it for me. And you'll see a lot of these out there, but there's just a minimal capacity. Even though they're lithium, they have greater capacity by, storage energy density. It still wasn't good. So that's why I never even bothered reviewing them. And there's some talk about adapting batteries to different things. Oh, YouTube doesn't even let the, so really, they don't want you leaving YouTube, do they? Let's see here. So Carrie wants to switch all batteries over from alkaline to rechargeable, since alkalines always leak, even inside the battery daddy they leak. Yeah, that's interesting. They're even leaking in storage. Yeah, I use my rechargeables as much as I can. Like I said, some things don't make sense for that. Okay, so it's techoutlet.godaddysite.com. That's the website. That's the site Bruce is setting up. So check them out there. You got to get like a custom domain for that, make it easier. Brian Parker's here. Everybody's here. Brian Parker's our Discord guru. We're going to get that Discord going. Oh, I got to fix the link. So here's the other thing, you Discord experts out there. I need a way to make a permanent Discord link because the one that I had expired or something. So email me some help with that. Sharat's wondering, do I think there's a space traffic problem? It's manageable, but it's going to get more complicated. I think it's a matter of how many of these low Earth orbiting satellites we get for these internet services. If that becomes a booming industry and more companies launch, if they know where the satellite is, it's all just math and figuring out when you're best able to go up over it. And in many cases too, it's an altitude thing. So, they'll put them in orbital slots in places where a launching rocket won't have an issue, right? If it's 500 miles south of where that rocket's punching out of the atmosphere, by the time it encounters one, it's already higher than it. So it's just, it's just like air traffic control. It's not ideal, but I think, the challenge is that people on the ground need better internet, right? So you got to balance that stuff. I mean, just saying it's awful. Yeah, no. Here's I'm gonna go off on a tangent here, but I think people think that everything's either one way or the other. It isn't. It's like you gotta find the balance. You need internet. You need a way to get around all these satellites in orbit. Figure it out. That's the problem these days. Everything's complicated now. Used to be back in the old days, everything was simple. Now, where we are, it's nuance and and constant adjustment. And it's frustrating, but that's the nature of life right now. Did NASA manage to fix the Hubble yet? Yes, they did. They did. They got it back up and running. And what's neat about the Hubble is that it's running with a 486 processor. And I guess the power supply to that computer was faulty, so they switched over to another one. So that is that. Discord IO. Okay, I'll check that out. Bruce is wondering, was it hazy here? Yes, so I'm on the East Coast, but we were getting all the smoke from the West Coast fires. So we had some pretty crazy sunsets. Marcus, yeah, if you want to post a link to the Discord or show me, I just need a link. Maybe you can email me, Mark, a link that will never expire that I can link into my short URL thing. That would be great. Quake enjoyed the show. Thank you. Yeah, I got a jet in a minute here because I got to go see what the kids are doing up there. Yeah, that guy says you'll lose your internet when the rocket launches. We'll be down for a few minutes. Okay, so that's the direct link. All right. Yeah, it was pretty hazy. I saw some pictures from New York City that looked pretty bad. Was the air quality bad? Was that because I think there was an air quality issue along with it? I thought the smoke was higher up, but I guess in some areas it wasn't. All right, so let me go edit the link. So Lon.TV/Discord will go to hopefully this permanent link here. Let me just double check and make sure that works. Okay. All right, we'll try that and see what happens. We'll see how long that lasts for, because a guy had done the invite link and then it expired. So we'll see what that looks like. All right. Sorry, MSX Droid, I know you're late. I was early, so that's how it works. So I have, it's possible, although unlikely, it's possible you might see me back on again later this afternoon, because I have, so I got in another, so here's what I've been doing, by the way. Occasionally, Lenovo usually has computers that they lend to me to review, and then we send them back to them. Every once in a while, they have one that they don't need back. So what I've been doing, we have 5 schools in my school district here. So I have been slowly accumulating computers that I'm giving to the schools for their live video production. So we just got in another one. This one's a desktop, kind of a beefy one with a 3080 GPU. So I thought it might be fun to do some experiments with that 3080 to see what kind of graphical quality we could get at 4K. So that's on the docket, and we'll give it a shot. And yeah, there's some new people in the Discord, Mark Dell, so they're starting to pop in. David Langley, glad you enjoyed the show. Yeah, I do a lot of live streams, as many as I can. I enjoy doing them. And then we have these Amazon opportunities that pop up too. So it's always good stuff. All right. Yeah, Discord I got to start popping into Discord more often and say hello to everybody. I got too many places to check on stuff. And now I'm getting the so the new thing, I got to update the credit rolls, and that takes a long time now because I got to pull in people from all these different places. I'm not complaining. It's good to have options for everybody. So you just picked up a newer Intel-based. Oh, it's good. I remember you were talking about that the other day, Simeon. So a newer Intel-based laptop, and got it a few days ago. Yeah, the new Tiger Lake chips are very competitive. Yeah, they're still hot and make a lot of fan noise and stuff, but they're very competitive. Although I'll tell you what, this MacBook Air, I use this thing for everything. Like I dock it in different parts of the house. Like I'm so happy with it. So happy with it. I've never killed the battery on it. I've never gotten to the point where the MacBook Air said I'm running low on battery. Now, granted, I haven't gone anywhere, so we'll see. We'll see when I start traveling again what that means. I am looking at CES this year, folks. It's looking likely that I'm going to try to go, so I will keep you posted. Although, what I have decided to do with CES is I was really, the last time we went, when I came back afflicted with whatever disease I caught there, I was very mindful of how much wasted time we had. Initially when I first started going, I would walk around the startup area and we would see all this cool stuff, and maybe I'm just getting jaded, but there was less and less, and we spent so much time looking around, not seeing anything. We actually wasted probably half a day just wandering around doing nothing. Actually, we were working, but we were not finding anything. So finding nothing, I should say. So what I'm looking to do for this one is probably a shorter CES trip. There are 2 big events that are really worthwhile, which is Showstopper, actually 3. There's Showstoppers, there's CES Unveiled, and there's PepCom. And those are events where there's a bunch of brands in one spot. And then I make appointments with a few companies and see things in in their suites or whatever. So my plan is to do CES Unveiled, Showstoppers, PepCom, a day of appointments, and then I'm getting out of there. So that's the plan. Because I used to spend like 3 or 4 days there. It's expensive, and it wasn't. I've been finding it less valuable to spend the full time there. So that's the plan for next year, is to do it a little more carefully. Sharat wants to know how can he contribute to the channel. So if you go to Lon.TV/support, we have our donor box page. And then, of course, we do the YouTube membership program, the join button. We've got all sorts of ways to contribute. All right. Appreciate the support, everybody. And also make sure I didn't miss any. Yeah, we didn't have any. Oh, we had My Tech Guy Tim with a super chat. I missed your super chat earlier. You know what happens is my vMix will show me a super chat, but not a super sticker. So I see that you sent me a nice little peach there, peachy. So thank you for the super chat. I missed that earlier. All right. Okay. Well, I have got to run, everybody, but I will be back soon. The kids are super quiet upstairs. What's nice about my kids, they don't fight with each other. They actually like each other, which is good. But when they're quiet, they're usually finding some way to prank me when I come back upstairs. So we're going to take a look at that, and we'll go from there. And then we'll talk on the Freedom Phone. Yeah, I looked at it. The problem is I don't know who's behind it. You know what I mean? Like, it's security is really hard now. It's actually getting increasingly more difficult. So, you got to be really, you got to look at who's marketing this. Do they have the background to produce a truly secure whatever? And the reality of today's internet is that it is very hard. As we saw, there was a priest that they bought his data, like just on the open market. It's very hard to be online and be secure and anonymous. You know what I mean? Like I say to people, like, how can I do to, you know what? Just unplug everything, because we are leaking data out constantly. There's no regulatory structure in this country to manage your privacy. It's open season. It'll change at some point, but I don't know. The way I look at it is, you want to be secure, turn it all off. That's the only way. And Ben says, the fun is, yeah, so mine are 8 and 5. And I have 2 girls. So it's fun. My 8-year-old is very much like me. It's funny. She likes school more than I did. So that I'm really happy about. Frank Mula is here. Yeah, it's funny how YouTube the longer you stay on, the more people find it, right? So we just did a little opening of stuff that was on Amazon today. So that was what we did. Android is secure, but not as secure as, it's only as secure as who implemented it. That's my point, is that, it's, you don't know, like if they're using the open source Android, for example, was the source code changed? What did they do? You know what I mean? Like those are like, you gotta, way I look at it is, if there's so a lot of these open source projects now are starting to hire auditors, a third party independent auditing firm. If they have one, that's great. That'd be worth looking at. Is really diving into whether or not someone who claims something is secure can back that up with an audit from a reputable security firm that could go in and really hit it to see if the source code is indeed as secure as they say it is. It's like, I'll put it this way. If I was like the CEO of Apple or some big company, I would probably be offline completely. I would have a huge air gap, because none of this stuff is secure in a way that you would, I mean, there's enough holes in it that if somebody really wanted to get at you, they can get it. And I'll tell you what, I am constantly, even like as a small-time YouTuber, every day when I load up my email, there's at least probably a half a dozen, just the ones that get through my spam. There are a half dozen, 6 or more every morning of these phishing attempts. Hey, I'm from Nike. I want to sponsor you. Like, someone from Nike would ever sponsor me? Really? So. And my big concern with Android right now, from a security standpoint, is not the new versions. It's the old ones that don't get updated. A lot of these, especially the cheap phones, they make the phone. There is no margin in the phone to begin with, right? They make maybe 5 or 10% margin on the phone. They go on volume, right? These are all the generic phones I'm talking about. And then what happens? They don't get updated because the company's only incentive is to make a new phone, right? So supporting the old phone is just not economic. There's no economic value, purpose in doing so. Because I was looking at the other day, you can go out and buy a smartphone for $30 on one of those prepaid plans. Who's making money? You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. So I think that's what happens. But I get so many spoofing requests. And I don't know if they're targeting me directly, but so for example, I got one the other day from vMix. vMix is a software that I use for my production stuff. And then it's fake. First of all, like they're not even good at it. They send you an email from it doesn't come from vmix.com. It comes from somebody's email account, right? So it's not even that. They're not even that good about it. And then the way this works, here's the scam. The scam is they send you the phishing email. So it comes in. They want you to go on WhatsApp, and then what they have you do is connect to their whatever they've got. And so basically people are handing over their API keys to the scammers. And then what they are after are the verified channels with a lot of subscribers. And they do these Bitcoin schemes. So I was seeing this with the Richard Branson space launch. And I saw a lot of these so when I would log into YouTube, right around the time the Branson launch was going on, there was a verified channel that was doing a live stream, but it was really a Bitcoin scam that was running the live stream in a window. And so they're basically taking everything you worked for and just throw it out. It's horrible. So you got to be really careful about this stuff. MSX Droid is asking about my UDM Pro. It is running better now. So it is working fine. I am having no significant issues. It hasn't crashed. It's been up. Let me check it. I think it's been up for, how long has it been up for here? Let's take a look. I have been online and operating for 2 weeks straight. So it's been on for 2 weeks, 7 hours, and 7 minutes, basically since I did the video. It had one firmware update actually since I last did that, and it's still working. So it's better than it was. But I wanted to put that out there because here's what happened was I got the router and I was hearing people like, oh, you're going to have trouble with it. I'm like, it's fine, it's working fine, it's working fine. So I wanted to be upfront with everybody. It was working fine until it wasn't. So, and I think they just need to do better. They're great. I love the system. I really do. I just wish it worked better. So hopefully whatever they did in the firmware here is going to work better, and we'll see. Kerry's saying that the anti-robocall blocking thing from the federal government is not working, but it's supposed to be active. Yeah, that's the other thing I get, the car warranty. Planet Money, the podcast, did a whole thing on that warranty robocall thing. You should check it out. So that's definitely worth looking at. Mark Dell says, buy a PC unless it's Windows 11 and get security updates for over a decade. Buy a phone in maybe 3 years. True. Very true. Apple, I'll give them credit, though. The iPhone 6s is still supported, right? So Ben has the UDM, had some problems with it early on, locking up. Yeah, now it's running. Yeah, I think they've worked out a lot of kinks on the Dream Machine product, and then mine is starting to work better. We'll see, though. It's only been, like I said, like the last time I had to do the full reset, it was a nightmare. I did notice, though, that they do now allow you to download the firmware or your settings locally, because before they were only letting you put it on the cloud. Now you can download it on the new version. So, okay, yep, that's very true, Bruce. I got to get out of here. And yeah, and by the way, that's the other thing, like that Microsoft print spooler thing. That print spooler has always had issues. But all of these operating systems, whether it's on iOS is now, 10 years old? Android's about the same length, maybe more than that, 12, 13. So there's all this gunk that builds up in the operating systems, and they've got holes. They all do. They all do. If you don't want your device to do anything, it'll be very secure. Steve Gibson has talked about that. And then George is bringing up the Windows 10 being the last version of Windows statement. You know what's funny? Somebody did an analysis of that, and apparently it was a statement that was made by a Microsoft official, but they didn't walk it back at the time, but now they're saying it wasn't an official, you know what I mean? Like it was like, this guy said it and everyone thought that was the word of Microsoft. I think that was their intent. I agree. And I think what they did here is they said, well, if we're going to force all this security hardware, we may as well rev the version number. So like there's a line in, like you couldn't call it Windows 10 if you were knocking out a lot of compatibility. That's my guess. And Mark is running. Yeah, I don't think there's, you know what's funny about it? I don't think there's much of a difference. Because like it's been this constant updated service, Windows, right? Because I was surprised how stable it felt on the laptop I tried it on. So Anthony Bianco is going to stick with pfSense. I'm going to try to get into that. I really want to play with it a little more. I've got a computer that would be really well suited to be a pfSense router. So that's on my list. I just get nervous about anything that I don't have to like maintain myself. That's my only concern with that. All right. Well, everybody, I got to get out of here. So I appreciate everyone joining me this morning. It was a little earlier than usual, but it was fun. And I want to thank my tech guy, Tim, for the super chat. And yeah, that's going to do it for now. So I'm going to first of all thank you all for tuning in. And I'm going to go check on my kids now. I'm going to take the dog for a walk after my wife gets back. And I'm going to chill out for a little bit this afternoon. That's the plan. So I will catch you all soon. Keep those comments coming. We got a Plex video. My monthly Plex video on collections is up right now. So have a look at that. That one seems to be doing pretty well. And yeah, we're going to be back again very soon. Talk to you all next time. Bye-bye.